In this video, I'm going to be going over how to solve any issue when it comes to adding images to your Vendor Central account. So firstly, for those of you who don't know, my name is Benjamin. I used to work at Amazon in the vendor management team for around 3 years, and now I record videos specifically tailored to vendors selling on Amazon. So without further ado, to upload images for your Amazon vendor account, it's pretty straightforward to begin with. You go to items on the top left menu, then you go to the image manager, which looks like this. Upload images, you search either the ASIN number or the SKU, and then you just add the images that you want to add. Main image, lifestyle images, and so on. It's a maximum of 7 images per product. The issues, however, that you encounter occur when you add your images to the image manager, but it doesn't reflect on the product detail page. And so the reason most commonly as to why this happens is that there are multiple sellers and or vendors that are trying to add their own images to a particular ASIN. And so how do you resolve that? Particularly if you're the manufacturer or the brand owner, you want priority, you want your images to appear on the detail page. And so the first thing that you have to do is you have to register your trademark with the brand registry platform. This usually takes a couple of days. You add the trademark, you enroll your brand, and then once approved, the trademark is registered with the brand registry platform. The second step, and this is what a lot of vendors miss out on, is after you've registered the trademark with brand registry, you want to raise a case in Vendor Central asking the support team to map your brand registry to your brand company code. The thing is, it's not enough to just register the trademark in brand registry. You then have to map it to your vendor account, to your company code. Otherwise, Amazon won't recognize your vendor account as the brand owner or the brand representative. So that's the second step, and again, this is where a lot of vendors they forget to do this. So the way you do this, you go into Vendor Central Support, raise a support case. You can also, or you should do this in brand registry as well, to cover your bases. So one support case in Vendor Central, one support case in brand registry, and you really just want to ask them to map your brand, provide them the brand name with your brand code to brand registry for your vendor code. Again, can you please map our brand X, with brand code, and I'll tell you how to find the brand code in a second, to brand registry for your vendor code. You can copy this in. So to find your brand code, again, each brand on Amazon has its own brand code, kind of like your vendor code. A vendor account has a vendor code, brand has a brand code. To find your brand code, you go to Vendor Central, Retail Analytics, and then View Sales by Brand, and then it will have each of the brands that you sell with the corresponding brand code. So after you've got that brand code, you can put it into this quote here, and then you can raise the vendor support case as required. After you raise the support case, they should link your brand code to brand registry and finish the brand mapping. As a side note, it's a good idea to have a list of like SOPs, a list of support cases that you frequently raise, such as this one here. In fact, that's what I do with the brands that I work with. So I've got a directory of Vendor Central support case SOPs, like just 100 or so different support cases that I commonly raise, and that way I can just copy them every time. I don't have to like type them out again. So it's a good idea to have kind of a directory of Vendor Central support cases that you're going to raise, and that way you can just copy them and save yourself a bunch of time. But let me know if that's something that you'd find interesting and useful, and I can potentially share that. Anyway, back to our process here. So as I mentioned, second step, map the brand registry to your brand company code. After you've done that, you should be good, and you can check if that's been done properly by the following method. So you'll go back to Image Manager. You'll then search a particular ASIN or SKU on the left here, and then on the right of the page, it will come up with this screen here, images submitted by you for that particular product. And as you can see, on the top right, we've got this black and orange square, and it says registered brand owner. So if you've got that, congratulations, you've mapped your company code to brand registry, your vendor code to brand registry, and so now you're officially, in the eyes of Amazon, you are the brand owner, and images that you upload should flow through to the product page. Once you see this registered brand owner sign, this should apply across all of the products under that particular brand. You might also want to check if you've misspelt your brand. Amazon might think you've got two brands, in which case only kind of one of those brands will be linked. But if you've got one brand and you've mapped the brand to brand registry correctly, you should see all of the products under the brand have this registered brand owner note, as you can see on the screen here. And again, once that's happened, your images should flow through to the product page. However, if your images do not flow through to the product page, here are some other potential issues that might occur. So the first issue, and this occurs quite often, is an issue with the main image. So the thing is, if your main image is not accepted by Amazon, if it's rejected, each of your other images, your last images numbers 2 to 7, all of the other images won't appear. So for them to appear, your main image has to be accepted and be live on Amazon as well. And so if your main image isn't accepted, it could be because it's not on a white background. It could be because there's text or annotations on the main image. It could be the formatting of the image. So I always suggest using either JPEG or PNG file format. But you should upload the main image with these caveats in the correct format: no text, no annotations, white background. And if you've done that correctly, the main image should be accepted. And if the main image is accepted, the rest of the images will go live. That is the other very common issue. Cool. So if you followed this process, your images should flow through to the product page, and your contribution should be prioritized over any other seller or vendor that has not followed this process. So thank you for watching. Subscribe and like the video if you found it helpful. Share it with some coworkers or friends, and hope you have a great day.